Hey beauties. So this video was basically about what happened when I went to the Army recruiter today. I did say that I got a text message late yesterday night, and it was my recruiter basically asking me to come in tomorrow, which was today. But anyway, so it was today, it was this morning. I was there at 10:30, and he said, come and fill out a medical packet. And I'm like, medical packet? What the heck is that? So I'm thinking, I'm all nervous, like, did something whether it's something on my records that they saw and I got to do something over, or did I get approved already? Do I need to see more documents? Like, what is it? So I went in today, and then he just basically said this medical packet is like online, and it was like 12 different pages of stuff. And sorry, I'm uncomfortable. It was like 12 different pages of stuff, and it was just asking like medical questions, and it's online. And he was just saying that it was something that everyone do, so it's really nothing like from my records or nothing like that. So that put me at ease. It's just, yeah, asked about your medical conditions and stuff, and I guess that's it, get sent to MAPS. So, and then also yeah, that's what we did. So then he printed it out. I had to initial everything, all of my answers to the questions. It was either yes or no. And then printed that out, initialed it. Yeah, do a couple signatures, and that was that. Then from that point, I just used that time to kind of get my questions answered. So the questions I had been looking up was just based on some videos that I had been watching on YouTube, which I'm now discovering that is not the most accurate. It's a lot of good stuff on there, but it's a lot of stuff that's false as well, or that's just left out, period. So what I did ask about was how would it go for women that are pregnant? And I would just say that answer that they gave me did help me. Like, I did say I'm not really interested in about children right now, but I'm young and I don't have any children, so I would want to know how that process would go. And he was just basically saying, okay, so the discharge part, so if you do want to be discharged, it's possible, and it's considered a honorable discharge, not medical. I know I previously said medical. I was speaking with somebody and they told me medical, but that's honorable. And that's if you just continue to want to do the Army or your contract. But if you do continue, there's daycares. They have placement for you, so they have like houses you can be placed in. They have apartments where you can stay. What else I say? You have your weeks off to take care of your child, and I'm assuming it's 12 weeks. That's based on what I read, but he said it recently had doubled, and he's not sure was it the 12 weeks or not. But yeah, I read 12. Get the 12 weeks off. You have your doctors taking care of you down there, for your baby and your medical attention as well. And yeah, I was just surprised about the daycare. Like, it's a daycare down there. Like, so you can still continue on, if you want to. So that was that. It kind of giving me rest and assured. They even have like support groups for your spouse. And they have activities for your spouse and stuff like that. And for your children, they have days where you can bring your children and your family to work. And it was kind of like another recruiter that was in training, but she had been in the Army for years. But she's training for this location, and she was able to give me the scoop for that, all of that information about family and how that goes. And they like, we're pro family here, and that's what it sounds like. So that put me at ease. And then my other question was that transition from enlisted to officer, and he was pretty much saying that it's very possible. And when I said it's up to the higher rank sometimes to decide when you make that decision, well, he said that's not true, only because it'd be two people making that recommendation for you. So it'd be your supervisor and then their supervisor, and they'll be making them recommendations for you. Then he also showed me like a evaluation form of you being a surgeon, surgeon, of you being a soldier. So you have to get this evaluation form filled out, and you have to get like the scores needed, as well as so the GT score on your ASVAB test. So mine is like a 97. They want you to have a 110. So for me, I will have to take the ASVAB test over again and get a 110 in that particular area. And then, but he was saying it's like even tutoring groups that can help you get your score up, and most people improve about 10 to 20 points. So it's tutoring groups for that to get your score up. And then as well as you have to get recommendations from, people in the military. And, you can get that pretty much from higher rank. So yeah, and he was saying, because I have my bachelor's, that is not necessarily a hard process to go about, but he recommended me to kind of get a feel for the Army before going ahead and trying to do the officer route. And like I said, I can't do it right now because I don't have that GT score, even though I do have my bachelor's, but I don't have that 110 for my in that section. My hair itch, like I said, I always itch during the videos. So yeah, that's that. And then as well as I asked you about the birth control availability. So they did say all birth control is offered there, as well as it's available for you. However, when you've been deployed and stuff, you do have to consider which one is best for you. I know the lady I was speaking with, the recruiter that's in training, she was saying that she did the birth control pills, and that worked for her because she is not comfortable with the insertion for, the birth control contraceptives that have to be inserted and things like that. So she did the birth control pills, and she said it worked fine for her. And she did something else. I actually forgot. Oh, she was like, I think she said burnt sterile, something like that. Yeah, she did another way that I don't think I'd be able to do. But yeah, so I guess you would just have to make that decision based on where you at, deployed. If you're stationed somewhere, reserved, you make that decision and how would it go for you at that time. But it is available for you. So yeah, those are my 3 questions that I want to verify with them. I did not want to make any videos with false information, like some that I have been seeing, or I don't know if it's outdated or whatever. But yeah, I just want to make that clear, and I'm actually quite satisfied with their answers right now. So the process right now is they're going to go ahead. Well, the computers was acting up, so they're going to go ahead and fill their medical packet online stuff. They're going to send that up to MAPS. And then they're going to send forth my medical records and everything. They gave me that packet again with my references, proof of address. What else? Proof of address, school. So what I do have to put down every high school I went to from what period to what period. And I went to 4, so that's going to be a task. And then as well as something else I have to change on the one that they previously gave me. I would have to, so it's a section on there for your references, proof of address actually, and it's reference, and it's a box saying that your landlord. So what I did was put my landlord, I put the property name, I didn't put someone's actual name. So what I have to do is get someone's actual name and put it there. It's proof of address there. So that's like a few changes I have to make, but everything else is pretty much the same. They didn't give it to me because I needed to make the changes, but he just took out some papers that I didn't need, and since he did give it to me, I can make these changes on it. So yeah, that was that visit. Not necessarily a long visit, not at all, luckily. And they were just telling me, do not be discouraged, because this may take a while. She was saying like a month, and they only had one doctor approving the waivers at one point. But she had heard that doctor was receiving some type of help. And hopefully that's the case. She also assured me that the doctor have been tracking me. So every time she speaks with him, he's asking about me, supposedly. And you know, that may be a good sign as well if he's like tracking me. So hopefully he will get to reviewing it as soon as he receives it Monday. And we'll see how it goes. So it's kind of like the waiting game. Da, 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 da. My family is still saying hell no, don't go. um and you know, it's fine with me. I get it, I understand. Of course, I would be selfish too. If my sister probably told me that she was going to the army, I'd probably be like, no, you know. I'll be the same way. So I don't blame them. It just, like I said, I'm only doing what I think is best for me right now. I keep you updated, beauties, and good night. About to watch some Lifetime. My Saturday is already gone. I've been out in Indiana all day with my little cousin. You know, just in case I do leave, I'm trying to spend as much time with people as possible. But yeah, I've been out there all day, and I've been at the Army Recruit office. I didn't even get done what I need to get done for myself today. So, you know. But yep. I'll be coming back to you soon, beauties. Peace and love.